Imagine boarding a flight, dressed in a tailored suit, business class ticket in hand, ready to finalize a $120 million deal that could shift the tides of an entire industry, only to be forcefully removed from your first-class seat, simply because a white passenger didn't feel comfortable. That's exactly what happened to Jamal Turner, a self-made black CEO. But what the airline didn't know was he owned the company negotiating their entire annual contract. What followed would freeze their budget, shake their board, and stun the world. Stay tuned for the full story, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful true-life stories that challenge injustice and uplift truth. Now let's dive in. The seat of power. Jamal Turner boarded Flight 768 from JFK to London Heathrow in a crisp navy suit, calm but alert. His assistant Serena just a few rows behind in business class, reviewing the final pitch deck they had worked on for weeks. Jamal was the CEO and founder of Titan Tech, a black-owned cybersecurity firm that had not only secured contracts with several Fortune 500 companies, but was now finalizing the pivotal $120 million deal with Skyglide Airways, the very airline he was flying with. What Jamal didn't know was that his first-class boarding would soon trigger a series of events so steeped in prejudice, ego, and corporate blindness that it would explode into a global scandal. As Jamal settled into seat 2A, sipping sparkling water, a flight attendant approached with a stiff smile that didn't reach her eyes and said, "Sir, I'm sorry, but there's been a seating error. We'll need you to move to business class." Confused, Jamal calmly replied, "There must be a mistake. I booked this seat weeks ago." But behind her, a white passenger in a golf cap stared at Jamal like he was a threat to the cabin's serenity. "He said he paid for peace and quiet, and that your presence makes him uneasy," she whispered. Jamal's smile faded. "So you're downgrading me for his comfort?" When he didn't comply immediately, airport security was called. In front of stunned passengers, Jamal was escorted out of first class, and a humiliating video of the incident was uploaded by a college student seated nearby. It would later go viral with the caption, "Black CEO thrown out for a white man's the deal behind the deal." What no one on that plane knew, not even the smug executive in the golf cap, later identified as Preston Hawley, an investor in Skyglide, was that Jamal wasn't just flying first class for status. He was flying to London to finalize Titan Tech's contract to become Skyglide's exclusive cybersecurity provider, a deal that would protect everything from internal emails to air traffic controls. The airline's CIO, unaware of the incident that had just taken place, was eagerly waiting in London to meet Jamal. Meanwhile, the story exploded online. The video crossed 2 million views in 24 hours, sparking outrage across the US and UK, with hashtags like #FlyingWhileBlack and #SkyGlideRacist trending. Jamal's board called an emergency Zoom meeting while he sat silently in a Heathrow lounge, watching news anchors debate the story as if it were an abstract moral puzzle, not his lived reality. Serena approached him with the contract draft in hand. "They don't know yet," she whispered. "You can still sign, collect the bag, and walk away." But Jamal's eyes were sharp. "No," he said. "I think it's time they learn who they put in coach." With one email, he delayed the contract signing. With another, he authorized Titan Tech to halt all back-end system integrations already underway. Within 48 hours, Skyglide's internal network was filled with security red flags, unresolved patches, and warning notices because the system, built for them by Titan Tech, was paused indefinitely. Boardroom turbulence. By day 5, Skyglide's executive board was in chaos. The CIO, having realized Jamal was the very CEO they were preparing to partner with, had flown into a panic. Their CTO tried to reach Titan Tech's offices but was stonewalled. With a calm, "We're reevaluating our client portfolio" message, investors began to ask questions. Preston Hawley, now exposed as the man who initiated the downgrade, appeared on CNN claiming it was a misunderstanding and that race played no part. But public opinion wasn't buying it. Jamal, meanwhile, was approached by multiple major news outlets, from BBC to MSNBC, but he refused interviews, choosing silence over spectacle. That is, until the Skyglide CEO Martin Carville sent him a private message begging for a meeting. Jamal agreed, but only if it was live-streamed. Reluctantly, the airline agreed. The meeting took place in Titan Tech's Manhattan HQ, with millions tuning in. Jamal entered the room to applause from his staff and silence from Skyglide's execs. "Gentlemen," Jamal began, "you asked for a secure future. But you showed me you still operate like it's the past." He played the video again, this time on a wall-sized screen showing the moment he was removed from first class. "How do you expect to protect an airline when you can't even protect your image?" Carville pleaded, "We're sorry. We'd like to continue the partnership." Jamal raised an eyebrow. "Not at $120 million. A beat passed. The new contract is $200 million, and it includes an executive-level diversity audit, staff-wide anti-bias training, and a public apology in every airport terminal you operate." Carville was stunned. "That's outrageous." Jamal stood. "Then enjoy flying with your vulnerabilities wide open." Altitude adjustment within a week. Skyglide caved to every demand. Their stock had dropped 9%. Partner companies began pulling inquiries. The $200 million deal was signed publicly. Jamal was now not only the highest-paid cybersecurity CEO in the aviation sector, but also the first black executive to ever freeze a global airline's operations through corporate leverage and principle alone. Skyglide issued full-page newspaper apologies, with Carville himself stating, "We failed our values. We are grateful to Titan Tech for holding us accountable." Meanwhile, the flight attendant involved was let go, and Preston Hale's shares in the company were quietly sold off. Jamal's story was now taught in Ivy League business schools. Oprah invited him for a sit-down, and when asked why he didn't just let it slide, Jamal simply replied, "If you let power ignore your dignity once, it'll try to erase it forever." Serena was promoted to coup. Titan Tech's valuation soared past $3 billion. And the next time Jamal flew on any airline, he was met not with suspicion, but with a handwritten note, warm smiles, and a flight captain who personally thanked him for changing the altitude of justice.